Crypto scammers are targeting you. Millions of dollars are lost every single day by traders who just don't know these red flags. But here's the truth. If you're in the trenches hunting for the next Memecoin gem, you need to know exactly what to avoid. In this video, I'm gonna lay out every single Memecoin scammer tactic used to steal your hard-earned money. I'll show you the tools that the top traders in the space use to avoid these scams. And if you stay with me until the very end, I will give you direct access to my master list of free Memecoin trading tools in every single category, which will show you exactly what they're used for and how to use them. But if you leave and you fade this information, there's a very high chance that you will lose money to scammers trading meme coins. My name is Vic. I've been in the crypto trenches since 2020. I've worked with brands like Coinbase, Exodus, and nearly 100 more. I've spent the last 2 weeks testing dozens of different bots, talking to million-dollar traders in the meme coin space, and digging through the trenches to make sure that I've covered every single scam for this video. So let's get started. This is just one of my phantom wallets that I keep a couple cult meme coins on. Nothing crazy here, but what you will notice about this wallet is that there is a weird blue eyes white Omnicat at the bottom, a token that I never bought. And it says that it's worth 1 penny. Now, sometimes you'll just find these random tokens in your phantom wallet and they can be worth like $1, $2. For a small scale trader, that's kind of enticing. This is an airdrop scam. Essentially, since everything is public on the blockchain, scammers will go and grab your wallet address from a token that you've already bought as one of the holders. Then they'll airdrop you this scam token. If you do interact with this token and you swap it into Solana, you're essentially giving them access to control your wallet, and your wallet will most likely get drained to zero. I've had multiple people in the last week alone reach out to me and ask why their wallet got drained. And this was why. It's sneaky, malicious, and it targets new people who don't have much capital to play with. So what I recommend is hitting manage token list at the bottom of Phantom, and then you can toggle off these tokens, hiding them from your main wallet so it's out of sight, out of mind. Let's hop over to Dex Screener, where most of us go to search for tokens. And the first thing that I pay attention to when I find a token is the activity on the chart, because most times we can just straight up see that something is a scam. There are two main indicators on this chart that this token is a rug. I mean, aside from the fact it already rugged, but when a token is bought up like this at the very beginning, and there's a huge candle right at the start of the chart, this means that it's getting bundle sniped. And I will get into bundle snipes and how to identify them later, but that's the first indicator. Another indicator is that the thing's just going up. Money's coming in, no money is being sold, and then the dev rugs and sells everything all at the same time. This is like a picture perfect rug pull scam honeypot. A honeypot is when you can buy a token, but you can't sell a token. So here's another example of a honeypot, and you can see the pattern is literally just going up. There's more volatility here because they are using buy and sell bots. You can see that here in the transactions. All of these penny sells and penny buys that you'll find, essentially that's just a bot that the developer is using to buy and sell automatically to increase the amount of volume that is perceived on the token, which is something that us traders look for. Talked before in my last videos about how volume is important. Just the thing is that sometimes volume can be artificially inflated through a buy and sell bot, buying a penny, selling a penny, buying a penny, and selling a penny over and over and over again, because it still counts as volume. Something else that you want to look out for is whether or not that token name exists on a different token. A lot of times a token will come out and it will do really, really well, and then scam developers, they go and they create knockoffs of that token on Pump Fund, and there will be like the main token that's doing really well, and there will be all these little scam tokens pretending to be it just to fool people into buying it. I actually had someone in my Telegram group be like, Vic, what happened to Fartcoin? It like dropped to 500,000 in market cap. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? It's at $1 billion in market cap right now. And it was because they were looking at the wrong fart coin. So I have one here that's just a straight up a wrong fart coin. It's a copycat. You got to look out for this. So what you want to do is when you find something, let's say fart coin here, and I type it into Dex Screener, I want to make sure that like I'm actually choosing the one that is the main one, is the biggest one. It has the most attention, the most volume, the largest market cap. And here we go. Here's fart coin at $1 billion. This is the right token. Some of the other things that we want to look for is if the liquidity is locked. So there'll be a little lock sign. It means that the developer can't just straight up rug the entire liquidity pool, which would send the token to zero because there's no money to trade with at that point. We also want to check that freeze and mint authority is revoked. I can go to audit on Dex Screener and check mintable. It's not freezable. It's not. That means that the dev can't make more tokens and the dev can't freeze your wallet like a honeypot. Now you can see that Fartcoin is actually a pump fund token. It has the pump suffix at the end, but always double check the audits have been done because that pump suffix is now spoofable. Some devs are finding ways to put that at the end of their contract address, even if it's not from pump fund. Dex Screener is nice to use, but it's not really that in depth. It's very basic on an analytics scale. And everything that I've gone over so far is like the basics, the fundamentals. So at this point, we're going to crank it up a notch and get into some of the more intense scam identification tactics. All right, this is a different platform now. This is called GMGN. Essentially, it's very similar to Dex Screener or BullX, but it has some tools that they don't. And it's very, very good for identifying scams, identifying insider wallets, and just avoiding getting dumped on and rugged. So this token here, as you can see, it already rugged. So it's kind of like a crime scene. We can go and investigate what's going on here. If I scroll up and I go to the holders, I want to go and I want to see the different wallets that actually held a majority of the token. Now, what's really cool about GMGN is that it will highlight in red some malicious wallets that maybe have been a part of a different scam or are insider wallets, or they're just malicious in some way. And it will give them little tags. So this one's a sniper, a suspected insider, and you can see there's a bunch of insider wallets on this, and that's why it dumped. Another sick feature about GMGN is their rug probability feature. So this is a crime scene. So it's 100% it rugged. But if I click on the amount of ruggers that are actively doing it, this dialog will pop up and it will show me more details of who rugged, how much they rugged, how long it took. Other platforms don't have this level of detail. So now I want to get into the nitty gritty. I want to be able to analyze their social media because we could be dealing with a serial rugger dev, meaning this dev has rugged and rugged and rugged over and over again. And there's ways for us to identify this. So I'm on this token here. I haven't even looked into it at all. It's actually trending. So most likely this is clean, but I want to kind of show you the process that I would go through. First off, we want to check out their Twitter page. So we'll hit the Twitter button on Dex Screener. GMGN also has its own Twitter button as well. Okay, so this Twitter exists. It's actually posting, and that's kind of what we want to see is some content and some effort coming out. Here they're talking about a token burn mechanism. That is a green flag. If you see them boosting on Dex Screener and posting it here, that's great. If you see them applying to exchanges, that's also really good. Any partnerships, green flags. But mainly what I am looking for is this. I want to make sure that they've posted the contract address on Twitter, so I know that this token I'm looking at is the real thing. A lot of times what will happen is a project will create a Twitter, they'll start creating presence and creating hype around their project, and then a developer goes and makes a token and links their Twitter as if they made it, but they didn't make it. It's LARP, it's not real. And you want to watch out for this, and the way that you can do it is to verify that, yes, this contract address right here that they're providing on X is the same one that's right here. And if I look at it, we can confirm it's the contract address. But that is not enough, because serial developers will take the same Twitter profile and they'll just reuse it over and over and over again, and they'll keep rugging off of the same profile because X has a very good algorithm, and if they keep making accounts, they'll get them banned. So there's actually a way we can check that too. So let's bounce back over to Telegram, and we're gonna do this a few times with a few different bots, but we're gonna use Feigns, because Feigns allows us for free to check if an X account has been recycled. There is a limit. I think it's like 5 or 10 checks per day for free. I'm hoping I didn't use mine already so I can show you, but let's check if this X account has been used before. Again, all of these bots that I'm using are going to be given to you at the end of this video through my master list Google Sheet with every single bot and every single link. I copied the X username, and on Feigns, we're gonna go /X and then space and just the username, not the link or at. And as you can see, this is a very legit Twitter account, okay? This Twitter account's been around for 11 years and it's never had a different name. That is super legit. If it was used, what we would see here, instead of no recycled accounts found, we would see all the different account names that it used and how recent the change was, like 10 days, 3 months, a year, and we can gauge based on that. Like if it's changed over the last few weeks, it's probably a rug, but if it's been changed 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that's not really that big of a deal. Now let's focus on the developer for a second, because sometimes the developer's activity doesn't really matter that much at all. In fact, sometimes if a developer rugs and sells pretty early on, that's a very good thing, but it's all dependent on the type of token it is. Let's say it's a straight up meme coin, a cult coin, a idea. Take, for example, MLG, which is a token that I am big on right now, Major League Gaming. I grew up with it. I'm huge on MLG right now. MLG was actually rugged by the developer very, very early on. And what happened was the community came and they took it over. This is called a community takeover. You can actually see if it's a community takeover very easily on Deck Screener. If you scroll down here to the information panel, and you can see community takeover right here, a little more information about it. And then you can see the original profile as well from the dev who rugged. So in a situation like this, a rug is kind of a good thing because they've offloaded their tokens. Typically they own a ton of the supply, but now they don't own any of the supply and it's free game. The community can come in and pay for the decks. This is the Deck Screener profile. They can pay for it and then control the links that are attached to this profile and basically revoke it from the original developer who doesn't even own any coins anymore. In that scenario, the dev leaving is good. Now, if there's utility, if it's like an AI agent and they've built this AI terminal and they're creating some sort of technology and they rug, that's really bad. Unless the community can go and pick up where they left off technology-wise, which doesn't really make a lot of sense in most cases, that's not a good thing. That means it was LARP. LARP, live action role play, they were pretending, it was never real, it was never a thing. And in that case too, checking their GitHub and making sure that they've been working on the project through the GitHub, through the open source code, that is a good thing to look for with AI or tech-based projects. So here is an AI project. And now that we've cleared the Twitter, I can tell the dev has not rugged, there's been no community takeover. I want to go check out their website. So I'll click on this website button right here. Now, this looks like a pretty normal website, nothing too crazy, but it exists, okay? Like they put at least a little bit of effort here. I'm not going to interact with this website whatsoever. It says connect wallet. Don't connect wallets to a website when you're just doing research on a token, okay? You just want to make sure it's real. But what if the website isn't actually a website? And what I mean is, like, what if they just sent us to an article? Well, this is pretty common, especially with news tokens. I have this kind of dog token here for an example. I don't know what's going on with this, but it's a good example because it sent me to this Reddit page, okay? This is obviously Reddit, reddit.com, but sometimes what a scammer will do is they will create a fake version of a very trustworthy news site. So maybe it's like CNN x.com, right? Like they create a fake domain, they just copy and paste the website, and then they make their own article on this very reputable website, and people don't really tell the difference. Well, in that scenario, we can use something called a domain name age checker. I would just take the link of this post. If I don't trust it, I'm going to post it here. And basically it's going to tell me exactly how old that domain is. And obviously this is Reddit, so it's been around for 19 years. All right. Pretty trustworthy, right? You got to be careful because scammers are crafty. Okay, now that we've gone through the socials, it's time to look at the holders because this is probably the most important part of all of this. Everything so far has been foundational. This is how you avoid getting absolutely rugged, even when everything else checks out, because we could do this whole process that we've done, have everything else come back clean and still get rugged. And what I'm going to explain in the next portion of the video is exactly why. But before I move forward here, guys, if you're getting value, please subscribe to the channel. I highly recommend joining my Telegram channel, which is completely free. I give news, opinions, trending tokens, and insight on the crypto market every single day. It's completely free. We also have a crazy group chat. Like, it is popping in our group chat. I love everybody in there. People are posting contract addresses, getting help, asking questions, giving each other help. So if you want to join something like that, the link will also be below. All right, so in real time, this dog token that I was just looking at, it looks like it's rugging pretty hard. So it's a good example of what we're going to do next, which is actually scanning the holders and whether the dev is still holding. So for that, I'm going to need the contract address. I'll slide down, I'll grab the contract address here, and I'm going to jump back into the Feigns bot on Telegram. All I'm going to do is paste the contract address down here, and Feigns is going to print out some information for us. So it gives us our basic token stats right here. We can also see that the top 10 holders hold 23% of the supply. The dev has sold in this meme case. That's a good thing. And the DEX has been paid, the DEX screener profile that I talked about before. This is a good start, but it's not nearly enough information. When we talk about bundling, essentially what we're talking about is one investor buying a ton of the supply through multiple different wallets at the exact same time. They click one button and they've just bought 10% of the supply of the tokens through 20 different wallets. And it doesn't look like it because in the top 10 holders that we have in Feigns or in Dex Screener, they're all spread out and they don't have the tools to really dig through the blockchain and determine which transactions are probably linked together. So to analyze bundles, I like to use Trench Radar Scanner. It's another completely free Telegram bot that you can get right now. Again, this is going to be in the master list. And essentially all you do is you take that contract address and you paste it like that. And essentially it just scanned the blockchain for us in like under a second. If I scroll up a little bit, I can see that there was in total 33 bundles at one point. 9 of them are still holding. And those 9 of them are holding about 9% of the supply, which is not super risky. And then we can go see the top 5 bundles and their breakdowns. So we have 3 unique wallets. They owned 3% of the supply, but now they hold less than 1%. These were regular buyers. But you can also see that these different slots are like snipers, and it will even show you if these are fresh wallets, meaning that's a big red flag that is a bundle snipe, like 100%. Now, there is not really a sweet spot number here to look for. You kind of got to use your own judgment. Like, are you comfortable holding a project if one person bundle sniped 10% of the supply? Probably not. I think that anything over 3 to 4% in one bundle is kind of sus. But when you have multiple bundles of 5, 8, 10%, I mean, that can add up really quick and you can get rugged like crazy. Remember that these bundle snipers can actually sell all of their wallets in one click. Once they start selling, like, you have no time to get out. So it's very important to know in the background, are there people holding a ton of supply distributed through multiple wallets? And Trench Radar Scanner helps us see that. One very cool thing that I like a lot about Trench Radar Scanner is if I click bundle map right here, it's going to open this visualized version of each bundle for me. So I can actually go and see like, oh, this bundle right here has 4% of supply and they're still holding a majority of it. This bundle right here had 3.95% of the supply, but they sold off most of it. And this one right here, this had 4%. They've sold 2/3, and this is a fresh wallet. You can see with the little leaf logo there that's a fresh wallet, so that's a malicious bundle. The more you play with Trench Radar and find other bundle sniffers as well, just to cross-reference, the more you'll understand which projects you need to stay away from, because the bundles are just too risky. Top holders are one thing, but the bundles behind the scenes, I mean, that's pretty scary. So the last scam that I want to go over is something that I've dealt with for the past few years, and that is impersonation of your favorite creators, okay? So what I have open right now is me talking to one of my impersonators. But what you need to be careful of is fake accounts like this that will go and DM you. These scammers buy fake followers on these accounts, and they're targeting you to steal your money. They want you to invest in things that are not real investments, or put your money on an exchange that's a fake exchange. But you need to know, no content creator is going to message you ever. It's just not gonna happen, especially not me. I'll never DM anybody in my Telegram or on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, even though I have those platforms pretty much scrubbed clean. I won't do it. But this has been a very common scam for a very long time. You need to know it exists. But I'm not gonna hold out on you guys. I wanna give you access to every single tool that I've gone over in this video, and tons more tools that I've gotten from other community members. The way to get access to my Memecoin tools master list is by joining my Telegram channel below, and you will have complete read-only access, and I'm going to be updating this thing over time. I hope you guys got value from this video today. Make sure you subscribe and stay safe in the trenches.